Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Ryal Thomas. This evening, the title of the show is The Absence of Love. You may want to call your friends or your family members or loved ones or whomever you feel that needs to see this show. This particular show, I hope, is going to touch a lot of hearts, bring about a lot of emotions, and bring about some sort of awareness to how important love is. You know, it's been said that, that talking to plants, showing a little bit of care to just plants will make a plant blossom to the fullest. Now, I don't know how true that is, but if anything can make something blossom, I'm going to say love can. So I believe that. I'm open-minded about that. I'm open-minded about, love being able to bring about some sort of growth. But this evening, I want to talk about the absence of love, because there are so many things that are going on that we may be overlooking, as an individual, as a group of people, as adults, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes we can look in the eyes of a child, and we can look in the eyes of, not so much a child. We can look in the eyes of one another and see when someone may be down on their luck, or someone may be feeling bad, or someone may be just having a rough day, and we need to understand that love is essential. Love is the foundation to life. I personally believe that the creation of life, the creation of what we are experiencing right now while traveling through this journey called life, was all because of love, all because of someone, something wanted the company of something or someone. Love, a very, very deep emotion. Love can heal. Love can bring you out of situations that you may be in. Love can dig deep into a past that you or we may not feel so comfortable about, maybe in some cases embarrassed about it, but love has a tendency to reach down deep into your spirit, reach down deep into your soul, and bring you out of situations, not only mentally, but physically. Because without love, think about all the mess that we have accumulated within ourselves. Just think about it. You look at these school shootings, you look at these individuals running around here, and I don't know if they want to say, or if you want to call it some sort of fad, or if it's some sort of copycat situation. But can you imagine someone having love in their heart and committing such an act? See, that can't be love. See, the absence of love. We have to understand that when we are with people, and you don't know what someone is going through at the moment. You don't know if you are encouraging someone to do a wrongdoing by speaking about a certain situation or certain circumstances or a certain individual. We don't know if we are throwing another log on the fire by not showing love, but showing somewhat of agreeing to what they may be feeling if their luck is down. See, when someone is going through something, regardless of what it is, you have to put a roadblock in their mind. You have to bring up something that's positive, something that's going to stimulate them, just a pat on the back, just letting them know that, hey, I'm here for you. I love you. You'd be surprised how that can alter things, how that can modify you, how that can push you in a whole different direction. Because sometimes when someone is feeling something in a negative manner, you need to hold somebody close. You need to be close to someone. You need to tell someone how you feel about them. You need to tell them that you understand the pain that they are going through. Because, see, when you can relate to someone on that level, see, you bring them in to your love. And it lets them know and lets them feel that, hey, someone understands. But when you don't have a person beside you that's showing you love and showing you understanding, it allows them to go even deeper in their confusion. It allows them to go even deeper in their doubt. You have to have someone to put love, even just present it, just to present it in their spirit, in their soul. Just show them what love can be like. Just show them. You know, some of these kids are going to school, and you know, they're waking up in an environment where the parents are arguing or maybe even physically fighting, or someone is hollering and screaming over there. And then we as adults, well, some of us as adults, will add fuel to the fire. We'll go in and start screaming right along with them. You know, what is all that noise up there for? And what are you doing? And didn't I tell you to get down here and eat your food now, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Man, you cannot be that hostile. You cannot put that in a child's spirit and expect for them to go to school and be normal, because that's what they are dealing with. They'll wind up sitting in the corner all alone. They'll wind up sitting by themselves, and the teacher or someone will come around and say, is everything all right? But they have just been exposed to hate, confusion. Of course, they're not all right. They're not all right. And everyone who's going to counseling and trying to vent things out, which is good, but they still have to go back to an environment that not be a loving environment. And then you wonder why this child moves into a direction where he or she may be hanging around other troubled kids that feel like they're not loved, other troubled kids that feel like they don't have a place. And when you mix up all of that with everybody sharing a lack of love in their conversation, no good is going to come out of that. No good is going to come out of that. You know, I want to just move into another direction, but basically on the same topic, love. You know, some of us out there, we may have animals. We may have, you know, certain pets that we love. You know, I mean, actually love. You'd be surprised, and maybe you wouldn't be surprised that some people they just love their animals. They love their pets. Not a thing in the world is wrong with that. But do you know why that dog sits in the window and waits for you? Do you know why that cat rubs up on your leg and jumps up on the counter? You know, it's not always about feeding that animal. Yeah, you are feeding that animal more than just food. That dog is looking for that rub, looking for that conversation, looking for that pat on the back. That cat is looking for the same attention. So they come running to love. They come running to the affection that we may have for the cat, for the dog, or whatever. Now, if you're mistreating the dog or mistreating the cat, you know, or mistreating your animal in general, man, they don't come running. If anything, they're running away from you. See, animals have a natural order. They have a natural instinctive ability to detect things within yourself. I think, actually speaking, personally speaking, I like to say I think animals are more in tune than we are, when it comes to being able to feel some things, knowing that this person is all right or that person is all right. See, we have to study people from time to time. We have to see what they present. But animals, I think they have a natural order to sit around and just look at something and realize that this is a good person, and I have personal experience with that. That's why I speak so confident about something of such. But you have to understand, we have to understand and believe, without love, if love is absence, if love is not there, our mind has a tendency to just entertain itself. Just entertain itself. And we become rather selfish. We become rather selfish when love is not presented. Because in order to give love, we have to feel love. We have to feel it. We have to love ourselves. We have to love ourselves. And I mean truly love ourselves. You don't need to worry about other people so much agreeing with you on everything that you are trying to accomplish or that you are trying to do. As long as you have love in the approach that you are dealing with, the approach 9 times out of 10 is going to benefit you. It's going to benefit you. Because when you're going into a situation or going into circumstances with the absence of love, you're looking at all the negative things. You're looking at everything that could go wrong, will go wrong. Because you have doubt in your mind. You have doubt in your heart. Or he's not going to believe this. Or she's not going for that. Or that's not going to happen. Man, you haven't even given it a chance. You haven't even talked to the people. You haven't even met with these individuals. And already you have put up stumbling blocks in what you are expecting, what you would like to happen. But if you understand that you must put love in the picture, in order for the next person to feel love, you have to show love. And who cannot relate to love? The absence of love. You may be into a situation that you feel that you're doing everything. You're giving it your all and feel that no one is really appreciating what you are doing. You're crying because things have happened to you and no one understands why. Maybe you need to realize that this individual, the absence of love is within this person. This person cannot give love because that person has never received love. And love is not identified by material things that you give someone. Love is a feeling. Love is a feeling that you must feel for yourself first and for your fellow man. See, without having that feeling, you may allow anything to happen to your fellow man because you don't have love in your heart. And I'm going to tell you a little personal story real quick. And I don't know if a lot of you all know out there, but my business burnt down all the way to the ground. I lost everything. Lost everything. But one thing I didn't lose was my belief in love, my love of life. That kept me going. And about 2 days later, I was just thinking and still trying to smile and more concerned about my customers, what they were going to think about their furniture getting destroyed, and that bothered me. But I will say at this particular time, I haven't had one disgruntled customer yet. Everyone has been so understanding. But more so to this story is that I went to go see my neighbor. And my neighbor, he actually had a building that he had already committed to renting this particular building. And he asked me how was I doing? And I explained the situation, and he said, you know, Ryal, I had a talk with my wife, and she said that she made me realize that. Now here's someone who had love in their heart, not the absence of love. She said to him, you know, you already have everything in line. Your business is doing fine. So what you going to do about your neighbor? Your neighbor just lost everything. What are you going to do about his position? Right then and there, I looked at him and I said to myself, you know, that was beautiful. And he said, well, Ryal, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I want you to take that building. You can go ahead and lease it or whatever you decide you want to do, but I'm not going to sit here and run my business knowing that you are out of business and you cannot run your business. Now see, that individual didn't have the absence of love. Because love was in his heart, he showed me love. He showed me compassion. See, this is what I'm trying to tell you, is that the absence of love, he could have very well said, Ryal, I'm sorry. It's nothing I can do for you. Get back on your feet the best way you can. See, when you don't have love in your heart, you can't show love. And this is why I don't understand all of this confusion, all of this hate. But then again, I do understand it due to the fact that these individuals they have an absence of love. You know, and I don't understand. Now, this is what I don't understand. How can you as an adult act a certain way in public? And when I say public, in the world's eyes, when you are displaying a certain amount of hate towards mankind, towards someone of a different race, I don't understand why you don't understand, if you have kids, what your kids are thinking. I don't understand that. I don't understand how you say you can love your child, but I'm going to expose my child to hate. I don't understand that, because, see, the world keeps moving. You know, time waits for no one. So you bring this child up feeling that he or she has to show hate. And if you think that that child is going to be around you for the rest of your life and that you feel comfortable with this child feeling that particular way, you need help. You need help, because that child may not live in this community all their life. They may move into a bigger community. They may move to a bigger city. They may move to an area where no one is even thinking about the racial differences. And then they enter into an environment, enter into an area where, hey, they start to think to themselves, man, all this time I've been lied to. I've been lied to. Here I am looking out the window, thinking to myself, look at these people walking around here loving each other. Look at everyone having a good time. But here, my parents have taught me how to hate someone because of the color of their skin. That is the most absurd thing I have ever heard of in my life. To say that you love your child, but to expose your child to hate when he or she is not even a teenager yet. They haven't even been exposed to the glory of life yet, I should say. So now you limit them and ostracize their mind and ostracize their whole identity because of your fears, because of your belief. Do you actually want them to grow up believing this, to work with individuals that could actually help them, and to work with a diverse group of people, and to have these hidden feelings because you have taught them so they can't move up in the corporate world because of the hate that you have planted in them, but yet you love them? I don't understand that. The absence of love not only hurts you as an individual, it hurts society as a whole. You cannot give me, personally speaking, a reason to hate someone because of their skin color. You know, everybody is trying to better their life. Everyone is trying to better their life. Everyone is trying to move to an area that's not so conflicting. Everyone is trying to do things to make themselves feel good. But you cannot hold your position because you are saying, well, I don't want anyone coming in here because of the way I feel. But yet this person feels like they need to move or need to do this to be able to show love. See, the absence of love make you say things, make you do things, make you feel things. When your wife or your girlfriend or your husband or your boyfriend walks in the house, the first thing they should be greeted with is a show of love. If it's just merely a small kiss or a hug, and look them in the eye and say, baby, how did your day go? I'm glad you're home. You start the day off like that and you end the day like that. I'm not saying complications will not come up, because they will. They will. But you cannot always display the absence of love, because when you display the absence of love, things get worse. It doesn't make anything better. It doesn't make anything better. You'd be surprised what holding your husband may do. You'd be surprised what holding your wife may do. You'd be surprised by just some of the small things you do, some of the emotional things you do, some of the things that show that you have physical affection for someone. You'd be surprised how that make a person feel. Send me out the house feeling good. Let me know that someone loves me. It's enough stuff out here in this world that you're going to have to deal with. At least in my home, make me feel good. Send me out the door with a kiss. When I come home, welcome me with a kiss. Even if you're mad, just show me love if you got to lie to me. Just make me feel good. See, you have to have love in your heart somewhere, in your heart. And again, I just want to say that without, love, anything can happen. You get in the car and you're riding down the road and, you're thinking about all this negative stuff. Your mind is not even focused on where you're going, what you're doing. You're all screwed up. But if you would have had that loving conversation, and if you recognize someone who needs that conversation before they leave the house, or just need that conversation in general, you'll be surprised what that will stop in that person's heart for the rest of the day. You don't sit up there and, all right, go ahead. If you feel that way, just go ahead and do what you have to do, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm tired of talking. No, never be tired of talking, man. Never be tired of talking when you're trying to bring some awareness to how important love is. When you are showing someone attention, showing someone feelings, showing someone giving someone the emotional feeling that they need in order to change their direction. See, it's never too late for that. Sometimes we all get fed up and we feel like, oh man, I'm through talking. I've talked enough to this person, and I've done this and I've said this, and they keep doing the same old thing over and over again. Sooner or later, man, something has to give. Something has to give. I don't care how many times you talk, but sooner or later, man, love prevails. Love prevails because people come around to their senses. People come around. You let a person sit there long enough, they'll come around. And you show enough love and enough affection, they'd have to be, they have to be less than human to realize that, this is not love when actually it is love. And just because someone is saying some things that you don't agree with doesn't necessarily mean that it's not love. It's called constructive criticism. And constructive criticism is the foundation to love, because I'm concerned about you. I'm concerned about what may happen to you. So this is why I tell you these things that you may not want to hear, but what you need to hear. Listen, please try to put love in your life, because without love and the absence of love, will only go deeper into confusion. I want to thank you all for tuning in. This has been beautiful. I hope you all have gotten something out of this. I'm Ryal Thomas. See you next time. Thank you very much.